Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bleav in San Diego Baseball, the podcast. I'm your host, the voice of Petco Park, alongside my friend and co-host right here. His name is Heath Bell, the three-time All-Star. Heath, we got a bit to talk about today. Usually we start off the show by talking about the postseason, or at least we have over the last few episodes. But you know what? Breaking news, and I have it here in print. Mike Shildt retires as Padres manager. Did not see that one coming. I think that's where we're going to start today. Mike Shildt announcing in a letter that managing, especially this year, has taken a severe toll on him mentally and physically. It's time I take care of myself and exit on my own terms. I got to imagine, because I texted you about this as soon as I got the news, and your reaction was, wow. I got to imagine you were just as stunned as I was about this.
Yeah, it was kind of shocking. It was kind of came way out of left field. And, just the more you think about it, I think there's probably a lot of stress. And, at the end of the day, you're there for your health more than anything else. So that's more important than making money or, this great game that we play, baseball.
Yeah, I mean, he's been at it for a long time, too. You talk about him joining the Cardinals organization in 2003 as a scout. He then manages at every level of that organization, all the way up to the top job in the Cardinals organization before getting let go. Comes to the Padres as an assistant, as a fill-in third base coach, then as manager. The grind just hasn't stopped. I mean, 162 on the road for all those years. He's unmarried. He was married to the job. You're talking probably 12 to 14 hours a day at the ballpark, managing players, managing relationships, managing.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Wasn't going to say it, but I'll say it now. So maybe he has a girlfriend. Maybe he wants to get married. Maybe he wants to settle down, not have kids. He's up there in age. But maybe he just wants to enjoy the last, he didn't have somebody with him. And now maybe he does and just wants to, I have somebody. So why not enjoy some time? He's made some money and he could retire. So there's a lot of stress. And, if you don't have a spouse, working is nothing. You work, you grind, you do it, you make money, better off your life or whatnot. And you buy the things that you want. And then when you have a spouse, you have somebody, significant other, there comes a time in a life where you just want to spend some time with them, or if they don't want to spend time with you or you don't want to spend time with them, maybe you shouldn't be married. You should be together. So, but maybe he has found somebody. I mean, that's not something that we put in the news and telling everybody, but maybe he just wants to spend some time and enjoy himself.
And I can relate, sort of. I mean, I obviously haven't had the same grind, but I moved a lot for my job and poured a lot of long days, nights, weekends into it, both when I was working in radio, when I was working in marketing, now working in sports. I have lived in 3 corners of the country, still have 1 more to go. And you know what? At some point, I was like, enough. I need to start dedicating time to myself. I want to have a family. I want to enjoy those things in life. I just got married a year ago. So I can understand what these jobs and dedication to these industries mean and the toll it does take on your personal life. Not saying that's what it was. I could certainly understand if that's what it is, but yeah, I mean, it's a grind. It's a lot of investment. We love doing it. Otherwise we would not do it, but there comes a time, sure.
Yeah, it's just, we're speculating if it's this or if it's just, hey, maybe it's health issues. Maybe, maybe he's just done, burnt out. He realized he's not having fun anymore. Like my dad said, you play baseball and then there's one day baseball becomes a job. And when it becomes a job, it's time to retire because it's meant to be fun. It's meant to be a game.
Yeah. I think that's good advice for any job, really. If you stop loving it.
You can't just, I don't say that about every job because sometimes not everybody has a job they love to do. They just
But they
do it.
should, and that's a goal, at
Well,
least for us who got to do the jobs they wanted to do.
yeah, if you're lucky enough to be that 1% that gets a job that they actually enjoy, or their dream job, and then it doesn't become fun anymore, then yeah, it's time to move on and do something else.
Well, Shildt retires with a 435 and 340 record, a 561 winning percentage. That is tied for 20th all time among those who managed at least 750 games and ranks 7th among men whose managerial careers extended past 1951. So he is in select company. I mean, he came off 290-win seasons here with the Padres. Of course, he had success in St. Louis and all throughout that organization as well. The grind paid off for him. The dedication paid off for him. And you know what? If he's doing it to step away and just take some time for himself, by all means, you earned it, Mike, for sure.
Yeah, he'll definitely be missed by the fans and some players that I know, and I think the organization. But the hard part is, okay, now we have to kind of move on. And what is San Diego going to do now? Because I don't think anybody expected this, and if they did, then there's probably some things we don't know. But I think it was more unexpected than anything. So yeah, what are we going to do now? It's going to be interesting to see.
Well, like when the organization parted ways with Bob Melvin, there are some internal candidates. We have quite a few of them, actually. And I'll name them. But my first question here is, do you think for continuity you stay inside the organization, especially with the postseason run we've had and the amount of winning that's taken place inside the organization the last few years?
Personally, no, I would go outside and get somebody and talk to interview people and figure out what kind of culture they want to bring. Just because, early in the last season we did really well, and then we kind of fell off a little bit. Then we were really stumbling, and then we made some trades, and then we took off again and did really well. And 2 years ago, the first 90-win season, we were doing okay, not great, but then the second half we just got super hot. So we need somebody to come in that the players are going to respect, or fear, as I say. And fear is more of respect, like I don't want to let them down. Somebody to come in and say, hey, we're going to be a solid team all year long, and we're not going to ride these waves back and forth. Hey, we're going to do really good, and then we're going to do really bad. We're going to do really good, really bad. Hey, let's stay on a steady stream. If I was a GM, that's what I'd be looking for right now. And, just kind of a presence in the locker room, somebody that everybody will get behind. Not everybody's going to like, but everybody's going to get behind and respect and say, okay, I think he's doing the best thing for this organization, this team. I may not like it, but I'm willing to do it.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be a lot of competition for jobs. There's 7 or 8 major league openings now, and we haven't even gotten past the championship series round yet. Some names available right now: Rocco Baldelli from the Twins, former top prospect, played for the Tampa Bay Rays, went on to manage the Minnesota Twins. He went 505 and 511. I can't believe he was there that long.
He was there for quite a while. A lot of people.
Yeah. We have Ryan Flaherty. There's our good friend Nick Hundley, Brandon Hyde, who managed the Orioles. Albert Pujols, I know, is looking for a job, although he's been tied to the Angels job. David Ross, again, former major leaguer, great player, former Padres backup catcher as well. So there are some names out there. And of course, some people are going to say Bruce Bochy too, because he just left Texas.
Yeah, I think Bochy's just like, he went there to Texas for Chris Young, and I think he just said, I'll give you 2 or 3 years, and he did, because he was ready to retire after San Francisco. So, I mean, he's getting up there. And Nick Hundley would be a good pickup. He was that Padre guy, but also I think he's linked for the Giants. And then
he is, yep.
Let's see, who would be really good at those names. I think Flaherty would be good.
I like David Ross.
Ross would be probably good, but I just we'll just have to wait and see, really.
Some options inside the organization. Speaking of catchers, A.J. Ellis, been with the Padres since 2018. He's currently a special assistant.
Yeah, I forgot about A.J. A.J., I think, should have been a good candidate a couple years ago. I think when before they brought Melvin in. So, he's probably a good chance.
Yeah, and I think eventually he's going to be tagged for a job, whether it be here
He'll be
or somewhere
somewhere.
else.
He'll
Yeah.
definitely be manager somewhere.
There's bench coach Brian Esposito. He was a minor league manager in the Pirates system. You have Mark Loretta. I love Mark. Mark knows my name. And I feel like we're on a first name basis, me and Mark. So that to me, he's already qualified.
Here's the thing: Mark Loretta is really smart in baseball. I don't think
He
he's really
is.
getting a chance. People probably just don't assume that how smart he is in baseball, and he could be a really good manager. And I hope somebody gives him a chance one day because I've talked baseball with him, and he knows his stuff. And um, yeah, I think he's a good inspirational guy that we'd be lucky to have him if we got him.
He's also a heck of a alumni softball player too, and we always have some fun every time we go out. There's Ruben Niebla, of course. Do you think? I mean, he's well regarded as a pitching coach. Do you think he has managerial desires?
So here's the thing: is yeah, I think traditionally pitching coaches or pitchers weren't good managers. I just think because there was a lot to do, the lineups, double switching and all that stuff. Now the way the game has changed, if I was an owner or GM, I would be interviewing pitchers because you're doing a lot of pitching changes. The lineups don't really come from the manager anymore. It comes from the cybermetric kids, and then the manager is just managing the game. So what is he doing? There's no double switches really anymore.
No.
It's bringing in the pitchers at the right time and letting the starter, making the decision when to pull them. And that's really what the game is all about now. It's inspiring the guys, giving guys days off when they need to, but also it's basically, I think, 60 to 70% of the manager's job is to deal with pitchers, when to take them out, when to leave them in. So why not put a pitcher as the manager now?
Yeah, I mean, he's done a great job. Obviously, these playoff runs have been backed by solid pitching. He knows what he's doing. He's coveted in that role. Everybody loves him. He's really good at it. I could see him being a very good candidate for that job. And again, it keeps some cohesion inside the clubhouse, inside the dugout, even in the bullpen. Last name, I want to mention Scott Service, former Mariners manager, current assistant in baseball ops, and he oversees player development. So, again, another guy in our organization who has major league managing experience.
Yeah, I think in the Padres organization, if they don't want to go out of house, they have some options. But those guys, maybe they don't want to manage anymore. Maybe they like being behind the scenes. So it's just we got to figure out what direction the ownership wants to go. And does the owner want to bring somebody in just for a year or two, or does he want to bring somebody in for long term? So it's just understand where the side of the family want to do.
If, put your pitcher's cap back on for a second. If you were currently on the roster and this happened or a similar situation, would you rather keep continuity or would you rather bring in a different voice, and why for each?
It just depends what the clubhouse feel was. If you felt like the manager didn't have control of the clubhouse and the players were kind of policing themselves, then I would probably want somebody outside house unless I was, one of the issues in the clubhouse. I don't want somebody new because I like
Bad
doing
Heath. Bad
it.
Heath, yeah.
If I'm the bad boy. But if the managers and coaches had control of the clubhouse and whatever they said people respected, I'd want to keep somebody in house, so you don't miss up the mojo. But it's hard to believe that the mojo was super great just because there was so much ups and downs. That's all. I mean, I'm not saying the clubhouse was bad. I don't say that Mike lost the clubhouse or any of that. I'm just speculating that, so many ups and downs, and it seemed like guys were down in the dumps sometimes and then were really high and then really low. I think it's the coaching staff and the manager to kind of keep everybody evenly kill.
Yeah.
It's like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. So,
And I think to Mike's credit, he did that a lot. At least that's a lot of what we heard out of the pressers. And
yeah, it seemed like that with Mike. I mean, it seemed like everything was even key and he was never worried. So I'm just saying, basically playing devil's advocate. Like if the players had the clubhouse and they didn't respect the manager, I've been on some teams like that. You don't want anybody in house. You want somebody to come in and take charge. But then I've had where everybody's respected the manager and he got let go, and you're like, huh? Like, what just happened? Like, he got let go or he retired, and it was like, well, actually, in my situation, it was Art Howe with the Mets, and he kind of let go, and everybody's like, what just happened? We'd rather, it was almost like we'd rather have a coach, and they went outside a house, and then nobody respected that guy, and the players just ran the clubhouse and did whatever they wanted. And so it's just,
Very situationally based is what you're saying.
yeah, and I think ownership, I think the Seidler family's smart enough to know that situation. We're never going to know what it is. So they're going to get the best candidate for the job. I mean, the Seidler families, they've always done a great job ever since they've owned the team. So why would they not make the
Right.
right decision? So I'm feel full confident they'll make the right decision.
Mike left with 1 point in his letter to the San Diego Union Tribune, and this one really struck me. To the Friar Faithful, thanks for all the support and keep rocking Petco Park. It's the best home field advantage in Major League Baseball. And I thought that was cool. A tip of the cap to the fans. He certainly noticed it. He made a lot of mention over the last couple of years about it. And for him to thank us, the fans, just really cool gesture.
Mike's a great guy. I think everybody loved him. I'm personally like, I was like, whoa. I mean, it's sad to see him go. So, gosh, I mean, I think the fans will miss him, but I mean, I think it was his way of saying thank you, fans. There's no better fans out there. And I mean, look, he came from St. Louis. That one time people would say the best fans were in St. Louis, and even during the time he was there, you could say the best fans were in St. Louis, and the Padre fans changed his mind and said, nope, the best fans are here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I hate to keep going down a melancholy route, but I did want to make note of this other item. Sandy Alomar Sr. passed away today at the age of 81. Father, of course, of Sandy Jr. and Roberto Alomar. Sandy played 14 years in the Bigs as a second baseman from 1964 to 1978, was an all-star in 1970 with the Angels, and he began coaching in the Padres minor league system, if you didn't know, back in 1984. And in 1985, Alomar coached both of his sons with the Single-A Charleston Rainbows. Alomar went on to become the Padres' third base coach from 86 to 1990, coaching Sandy Jr. for just 8 games in 88-89. And Roberto, who started for the Padres at second base for 3 years in 88 to 90. So rest in peace to Sandy Alomar Sr. Whole family, nothing but legends, and gave so much to the game.
Yeah, great family. Baseball lost another great one, and just he'll be up there, and he'll be at the Field of Dreams, just like all the greats.
And you've had interactions with Sandy, haven't you?
Yeah,
over
Sandy
your
was my
career?
coach in New York in 04, 05. I think it was 05, and great guy. He talked to the young guys, inspired us young guys, and where most coaches didn't. So he was a memorable guy. He really was. So sad to see him gone.
Well, it always stinks to lose a good one, and he's one of the greats for sure. So, well, when we come back, it's a good time to take a break. When we come back on Bleav in San Diego Baseball, we're going to talk baseball. And we're actually going to talk, whoa, he's got a little piece of merch there. Oh, Ichiro, interesting. I'm wearing my Blue Jays cap again today. We're going to be talking championship series, and we're going to be talking about that wild Game 5 ALDS matchup in Seattle when we come back. Don't forget, follow us on all your favorite podcasting platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart as well. And you can find us on our website for bonus content, BleavInSD.com, BleavInSD.com. We'll be back in a couple minutes on Bleav in San Diego Baseball. Welcome back to Bleav in San Diego Baseball, the podcast. My name is Alex Miniak, alongside my co-host. His name is Heath Bell, along with his special assistant today. We're talking a lot about special assistants in our last segment. Special assistant Jordan, he's back on the podcast. Hello, Jordan.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hey, so, we've been talking a lot through our podcast about these playoff games. Even without our Padres, it's been an excellent postseason, and I probably saw one of the best games the other night, if not this year, maybe the last couple of years. In fact, my wife was away on business for the weekend, and I'm like, cool, Friday night, I'm going to have a couple beers, catch the end of this game. I'll put on a movie. Never got to the movie. Not because it was a 15-inning, 4-hour, 58-minute game. It was just because it was that good. Seattle was rocking. There were like 47,000 people there across those 15 innings and 5 hours. I don't think any of them sat down once. They were standing the entire time. It was a fun. Did you happen to catch any of that game or all that game? I watched the whole thing.
Caught the majority of the extra innings. I forget what I was doing the first half of the game, but then the second half and the extra innings, it was basically a brand new game for me. So
yeah.
I could say, I watched 9 innings.
Yeah. I'm not sure if they did the 14th inning stretch, but they could have done the 14th inning stretch.
I think everybody in the analysts, everybody was like, totally forgot there's no ghost runner. There's no
same. I forgot about that too.
Like even the players, I think the players were like, oh, this is a lot harder than it used to be.
Right. Where's the guy at second? Some highlights before you started watching, Heath. Tarek Skubal, 6 innings pitch, masterful. 13 Ks at one point, struck out 7 in a row. The most ever in a winner-take-all postseason game in history.
I really think they should have just let Skubal pitch until he didn't want to pitch anymore. Just like
he could have kept going.
I'm going to be like Nolan Ryan and throw 200 pitches this game. I don't care.
Insane. Also on Detroit side, Kerry Carpenter, 4-hit game, including a 2-run home run. He's the first player to reach base 5 times and hit a home run in a winner-take-all postseason game since Babe Ruth in 1926.
I think there's a lot of history in there. It's going to go down as one of the best playoff games ever.
Insane game. Josh Naylor, 3-hit game. Leo Rivas on his birthday. You're talking about a guy who was in the minor leagues for like 9 years, finally comes up to the bigs, ties the game 2-2 in the bottom of the 7th to bring us to extra innings and another 7 innings or 8 innings. This whole thing was if this were a poker table, all chips were in, both sides. Nobody lacked any effort. Everything was left on that field. Seattle started throwing in Logan Gilbert and Luis Castillo. Detroit started throwing in Jack Flaherty and Tommy Kahnle. It took until the 15th. Jorge Polanco finally walking it off. Insane. I just haven't seen that much energy put into a winner-take-all game in a long time. And not to say these other games were lazy. It's just you could tell that it was all left out there.
I just think it was Seattle came out on top, and it was like, are they going to be emotionally drained from this the next round? And it really hasn't.
No.
They've been
not so far.
You just keep going.
Yeah. Well, I've been wearing my Toronto cap the last 3 episodes here.
I got my Ichiro bat with me.
All right, so you got an Ichiro bat there signed, so obviously you're rooting for Seattle. Give us a little backstory on this bat because
I actually played against Ichiro, and I broke the bat, fastball inside, broke it. I asked his interpreter if he would sign that bat and give it to me because it was like the first time I got him out. I think he was, 3 for 3 off me before then. And he put the sock on it so it wouldn't splinter or somebody, and signed it for me. And here you go. I've never taken it off.
And to leave the sock on there is super cool because now you have the total story.
That, and you probably have his DNA sock. So if I wanted to clone him, I could.
You have a little Ichiro funk on that bat you sawed off. Well, coming up in our next episode, coming up later on this week, we'll spend some more time because we're running low on time here. We'll spend some more time on these championship rounds because if they're anything like what we've seen so far in the division series and the wild card rounds, these are going to go down to the wire as well. So I know Seattle has taken the early lead here on Toronto, but Toronto's got a lot of gas in that tank.
Toronto can hit. That's the one thing I'm worried about with Seattle, but they can hit.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That's all you have to say. So I'm keeping the hat on. I'm keeping the faith. And you know what? We're going to talk about it later on this week. So make sure you come back here to Bleav in San Diego baseball for the 3-time All-Star Heath Bell and Jordan. Thanks for joining us. My name is Alex Miniak, and we will catch you back here for another Bleav in San Diego baseball.
Say bye.
Hey.